Hey all. So, finally, the MCX review. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to X-Force for sponsoring this video and giving me this blaster to do a review on due to health reasons and many other factors. I was not able to play with the blaster. Now that I've played with the blaster, I can do my review. I don't just pull things out of the box and just review them. I play with them to see how they play, see all the little finicky things that I find that are wrong with them, so on and so forth. So, we're going to start right off with the negative stuff. Its battery compartment, which is in its handguard, you need to get something like the split cell batteries, the nunchucks. I don't have any nunchucks, sadly, which was part of my issue for not being able to record. I didn't have time to get something, and then games got cancelled, so on and so forth. But the battery compartment is small. It's difficult. You need to get a specific battery just for this blaster, unless you tape it around the outside like I did. I did it to the handguard. Sadly, it doesn't look that professional, but you work with what you got. The next, not quite a complaint or a negative, it's an observation. The blaster itself, the receiver of the blaster, is incredibly heavy for its size. This blaster is actually heavier than my full-length M4 with my optic on it, which is confusing, to say the least, seeing as it's something much shorter and, well, smaller. It's strange getting a bit used to that. It was something that I found like I would swing around corners and I would continue to be dragged around by the weight because it was heavier than what I was expecting, so just adjusting to that took me a while. One thing for customization, for those that like customizing their blasters, it's going to be a lot harder to do because it's not an M4 platform. It's adjusting the handguard is going to be something that's going to be quite difficult. You'll have to most likely go to get Airsoft parts for it, so handguards, for example. Now, I'm not a fan of the collapsible stocks or anything like that. I personally prefer having buffer tubes. That's my preference. That's not a negative, it's just a personal preference. Now, I know in the Airsoft world you can get the buffer tube adapters for them. Obviously here, at the time of recording, as far as I'm aware, there is none in Australia. So, the blaster's performance, well, actually before that, sorry, there's one more thing, is when you get this blaster, it comes with an LDX basic, and it has a really short barrel in it, which is fair enough. It's a CQB blaster. It's an alloy barrel. I believe it's about 7.5 in diameter. But the issue is that the muzzle on the device. Now, I obviously didn't want to damage this in any way because I am returning this to X-Force once I get the chance after completing this to send it to them. But the muzzle, I could not actually get the muzzle device untwisted with my hands. Whether it comes off or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's something I would like the ability to change, is that I would like the ability to change my muzzle, my barrel length, so on and so forth. For customization, this is not your go-to blaster. You can do optics, but the actual blaster itself is going to be quite difficult to customize. You can't change the stock. You can't change the handguard unless you, like these things you have to get from the US or Europe or so on and so forth. It's not something that's readily available and readily easy to change. One thing that I do praise it for is the mags. It worked fine with my LDTP mags. No issues whatsoever. Now, obviously, performance for the blaster is something that's like, well, it comes with a set box, but you're going to be changing that most likely. You're going to be putting in like an LDX Advanced. You're going to be putting in an LDX Expert. You're going to be HPAing it. You're going to be doing a custom build, so on and so forth. It's got its own gearbox, which is the LDX Basic, which comes with it, which is front wired, which is, personally I prefer rear wired because buffer tube, so on and so forth. And as well, for the handguard you need a split cell battery. You need a nunchuck battery just for this blaster to fit it in. That's why my battery is taped. Now, it could be changed. You can change the handguard. I know people that have changed the handguard, but yes. So whatever gearbox you put in, you're going to have to front wire, which can lead into its own issues and so on and so forth. But personally, if it was me, I would most likely sell this with something like an LDX Advance, straight off the bat. The shell itself is beautiful quality, and the gearbox is an LDX Advance. It performs well, straight out of the box. If I owned this, I would put something like myself, an Expert in, or an Advance in, and then, you know, go through, change my barrel, do everything that I need to do to make it perform how I want it to perform. But yes, I mean, overall, the gist of the blaster is positives. It's beautiful build quality. Beautiful build quality. It's just overall really, really nice feel to it. It's strange to get used to it from like my M4 platforms, which I've balanced out and so on and so forth. It's strange getting used to that weight and the short length and its weight for that length. But it's still a really, really good blaster. It's a really, really good shell. So overall, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Just for things that I don't like about it is, you know, the customizability is not quite as easily achievable as, say, an M4 or an AK. Its weight is a little bit of a downside for something that's so small, but it's nothing too major. Its gearbox choice, I mean, you will customize that yourself when you buy it. You could even ask, excuse me, sorry, to get a different gearbox put in it from the get-go. There's a lot of ways around a lot of these minor issues, which aren't leading into a lot of the negativity I have towards it. The customization is one thing that is, it's not an M4, it's not an AK, so it's going to be harder to customize. But yeah, overall, I love it, but there's things about it that I don't like, and there's things that could be changed. But overall, if you want an MCX, go get an MCX. There's nothing nothing stopping you from getting something I don't like. It doesn't matter whether I like it or not. It's your choice. It's your money. You make the decision you want. If you want an MCX, go get an MCX. They are beautiful. I love the build quality. I don't like that it doesn't have a buffer tube, and I am very confused as to its weight due to its size. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of footage and the review. There will be more reviews down the track in the future. slowly getting my life together to get things sorted. So we'll go from there. So, expect a HPA video in the future of going over my build and everything. When? Probably in the new year. I'm done playing for the year. That's it. We'll see how we go. But don't forget, check out the Warcrime Primetime Discord down below. That's my community and my squad. You're welcome to join. We have lots of info on blasters. We've got people like Dali, Guido, Aussie Dodo. We got everyone. So come on down, come play some games, come play some Gelball, learn some things, make some friends. We're accepting of everyone. And don't forget the usual YouTube bullshit of like, sub, share, donate to me. I have a Patreon, yes. It helps me to get things for future videos like reviews, paying for event tickets, for specific things like Parabellum, doing reviews on that. There's many things to pay for, which sucks, as we all know. Every little bit helps, even just $1 a month. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. Enjoy the new year. And to many more games. And maybe Airsoft in the future. Let's hope.